I suggest you think long and hard about trying to copy this. I wouldn't do it. Here we go. This project was a test to see if I could make a reusable form so that I could cost analyze if it would be cost effective to make a set of tumblers out of resin using a reusable mold. It went pretty good in the beginning. So the boards are surfaced so I could get a good gluing surface, and then I needed to cut the pieces to size. Interesting note is that my plan was to use the wood in the 90-degree orientation, but my mistake made it stronger. I've seen people glue wood together in a couple of different ways. They either put wood on both matching mating surfaces, or they just put glue on one surface. Now, a lot of it's going to depend on how flat the surface is and how closely it fits, because yellow glue needs to be tight fitting. That being said, in my experience, gluing each one like I did on the first set, putting glue on both surfaces and then sandwiching that together, is too much glue, it's too slippery, and it doesn't create a stronger bond. That's why I went to gluing single surfaces and then making a sandwich. I set the table on my bandsaw to 45 degrees because why beat up the gouges in the lathe when I can just cut it off of there nice and easy. I'm using a faceplate to mount this on the lathe so I can cut a tenon on the other side and then flip it around and put it in the cold jaws. Using the largest Forstner bit I had was a pipe dream. Just because it's softwood doesn't mean it was going to be easy. So I did the logical thing. I started small and worked my way up through the sizes. It's a big step from a 2-inch Forstner bit to my 3 1/4 inch, but I don't have anything in between. The top of this mold is 4 inches at the opening, and the bottom is at 3 1/4. So that's 3/4 of an inch over 5 inches, I believe. Make that 5 1/2 inches. I'm sanding these sidewalls to make them smooth enough so that the project will release with the mold release spray. I'm going to coat it with resin first. Now it's time to do the inner taper. I'd really like to thank you, dear viewer, because I know you're probably watching this by yourself, although I know a couple of couples that do watch together. I really appreciate you watching this today. It's the reason I'm doing it, and I really thank you very, very much. I don't know if you can see that flat spot right there, but I'm gonna do the outside with putty so it's an absolute cone. I don't want any finished resin to catch up on a piece on the inside of that plug, because I want that plug to come out of the mold. I'm using resin to seal the surfaces so that the mold release spray will allow it to come apart. I'm using some of all of these resins in this project. There's a hopeful release spray right now. Okay, so red, white, and blue, but the white is actually a gold pearl, so I don't have any white. Here we go. Into the pressure pot at 60 psi overnight. Yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to come out of there. I don't know. Probably gonna have to cut it off of there. At this point for me, all hope is lost of it coming out and me being able to reuse this mold. That's why I left the tenon on. I'm only going to go up to the 2-inch Forstner bit on the inside of this. Okay, I don't know if you can see it, but the top left corner there, I think that's resin. We've measured that properly, I think. And we're back to the square carbide. Oh, I like it. I like it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nice. Oh my goodness, that's going to be awesome. Oh, there's a crack. There's a crack, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Look at the crack. There's a crack. Oh no. Oh, more cracks. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow, it's completely broken. Wow, wow. Look at the cracks. Everything's broken. It's crazy. That wasn't broken a couple minutes ago. Wow, that's crazy. This whole thing might just crap out. Holy crap, we got to get something in there now. Okay, so I have some of this white, medium thick, good for filling voids and cracks. And so these cracks just happened, and these cracks on the rim were not there before. So I have to get this done now or it's going to fall apart. The cracks are just everywhere. Oh my god. I should scrap this thing. Got some cracks in here. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not. Okay, here's where we're at, and it's not good. Apparently, these cracks are probably from vibration. So I'm going to come in. I'm not going to go any deeper until I find out how this part up here behaves when I take the wood off the outside. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to shave her down, and we'll probably work on the last 1.5 inches of that and see if it works. If there's any cracks on the outside of this, I want to get them, solidify those with some glue before I go any further, because I just don't want it to shatter. Without the back end of this tool held firmly against my body, which I can't do because it's over the middle of the lathe, you get a lot of bounce. So I'm going to take it off of there and chip out what wood is left and go again. I'm not overly optimistic about this. You can see how deep that crack is in the bottom. I don't think there's much of this left, but I'm going to throw it in there and see what happens. Keep at it. Because I'm not sure if this prototype is even going to exist through the end of the formation process, I'm not real concerned about how smooth it is on the inside. I'm going to coat it anyway, so it's not going to be 100% smooth, guaranteed. I'm going to sand this test piece up to 320 grit by hand, and then I'm going to put a polyurethane finish on it because once it cures, it's plastic, so nothing will get through it. And then I'm going to part it off there. There's still a little bit of wood left on the bottom of this because I didn't want to get into the resin with the parting tool, so bench sander it is. It might look like my hand is barely moving, but this is playback at 1,000 times regular speed. Okay, so you see the struggle, you see the finished product. But what really boggles my mind is the fact that the walls on this, when they were poured, were only about a ½ an inch thick. Now, I didn't video this because before I had the video camera and all that, but I made this flower pot a long time ago. All right, and these flowers, these walnut flowers, were a full inch thick. So that was a full inch of resin all the way around this and no cracks. So go figure. All right, so maybe the resin was old. Maybe I'm getting old. But hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. If you got anything to say, please put it in the comments. Okay, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you'd like me to make something custom for you, something better than this, go to www.claytonswoodart.com, hit that contact page, and we'll have a conversation about me making something custom just for you. All right, thanks guys. Have a great day. Remember, be nice to each other.